Connect with us on social media. This is Rogers TV, Midland.
I'm Mallory, and I was walking home one night when an impaired driver hit me. He had been overserved in 2 bars before getting behind the wheel. If the servers would have called him a cab instead of serving him more alcohol, my life would be the same as what it used to be. I think servers play the biggest role in keeping us safe because it's up to them what state the person's in when they leave. Refusing service isn't personal, it's the law.
It's so inspiring to know that there's people out there that are willing to help people who've gone the situation that I've gone through. Because of United Way, I'm able to stand in front of you today with a good job that I can actually make something of myself.
This is Rogers TV.
Hello, and welcome to Engaging Midland. I'm your host, Randy Fee. I'm also the Town of Midland's Communications and Marketing Coordinator, for those who don't know me. We have a great show put together for today. We've got 2 great topics, the Town of Midland's new customer experience survey, as well as an update on our King Street Rejuvenation project, which I'm sure everyone's noticed going on over the summer months. But before we get into that, we want to meet the guests that we have on the show today. First, we have David Singh, the managing partner of Customer Service Professionals Network, or CSPN. Nice to see you, David. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks, Randy. Great to be here.
So you tell us a little bit about yourself, David. How long have you been with CSPN?
So I've been with CSPN for just over 2 years now, and we specialize helping Canadian organizations from coast to coast to coast, helping out. How do they work with their customers in different ways? So how do you think about the experience that they're designing, and how do they have their teams support those interactions?
Great. We also have with us Mike Ross, the Deputy Mayor for the Town of Midland. Great to see you, Mike. How are you doing?
Wonderful. Thanks for having me today.
So, Mike, you're a lifelong Midlander. If you can pick just one thing, what gives you the most pride about Midland?
Well, thanks for the question, and thank you very much for including me today. It really is an honor. That's a great question, and I appreciate it. It's easy for me to answer, is the people. Midland has a wonderful community. There's no doubt. We have beautiful Georgian Bay and the surrounding, but the people are what make Midland, Midland. And to me, I have my family, my friends, my life is in this town. And I truly believe that without the wonderful people of this community, and when I say Midland, I include Penetang, Tiny, Tay, and the surrounding areas. We have the greatest people, from Reinhard Weber to the gentleman who sweeps the street every morning. We have amazing people that have done amazing things for this town. So that by far is the one thing that makes Midland better and beyond any other community.
Great. And last but certainly not least, we have David Deneau with us. He's the Town of Midland's Chief Administrative Officer. Thanks for joining us today, David.
You, Randy. Good to see you again.
So you've been with the town since late April. So in your 5+ months with the town so far, is there something that's really impressed you so far in your time with us?
Yeah, there's a few things, Randy, and I know I've been asked to be a little bit tight on my time here at the introduction, so I'll narrow it down to one, and it'll piggyback off what the deputy mayor said. I grew up in a very small town in Northern Ontario, and it was important for me and our family to get back to a small community. And Midland, although larger from the one that I grew up in, really has all those attributes that we were hoping to discover. It is just a fantastically beautiful place, as everyone appreciates, but it's really the people. It's really the people that makes it special. And the aspect that I've really appreciated since I've been here is they're can-do people. So I came in right when the pandemic was kind of hitting its stride, but I've found that people at the town and people in the community are just finding a way to get through this, and they're doing it together. So for me, it's that atmosphere of working together that's been so rewarding.
Great. So with all of that said, now let's get into our first segment. Because I really want to get some information out there about this new customer experience survey that we've got going on. So I'll stick with you, CAO David. What exactly is the purpose of this customer experience survey?
Well, I think it's I think it's something that you're going to see continually in an organization that's always trying to be better. You know, I think it's really important that we stay in touch with our customers on how they're feeling about the services we offer. And we get a lot of great feedback like that through our counselors. They do a great job at making sure they stay in touch with the community. So we certainly get that feedback. We get it from our frontline staff. So an overwhelming majority of the people that work at the town are frontline staff. So they're a great conduit to the organization to make sure we understand what the customer is feeling. But it's also really important to get to those customers directly. And this is one way to do it, is through this type of survey. So it's another avenue for them to give us some feedback on how they feel about services, things they're looking for, or things that they really like. You know, we want to continue to do those things that we're doing well. So on both aspects, we're looking forward to that kind of feedback.
Right. So David Singh, anything you'd like to add about the survey or the process in general?
Yeah, no, I think I would just pick up on what David had mentioned, in that it's a process and it's an ongoing. It's something that you're doing all the time, and great organizations continue to work with their customers, citizens, and understanding who they are. And so part of our approach coming in there is helping sometimes provide just a different perspective on how to think about the different customer groups, and making sure that different people in the organization are able to have those conversations both while they're serving, but also as you're doing service design. So the survey is just one part of that, and something that we're excited to hear the results, and hopefully everyone is able to participate in.
Great. Now, with all of that in mind, David Singh, how long is this review being done for?
So we've been engaged since middle of July, and had lots of great conversations with leaders within the organization, and continuing to do that. The survey's been live late September through till mid-October. So it's open till October 16th, I believe. It might be open beyond that, but that's sort of the aim that we're trying to pull our information together. So a pulse check in the month of October, and en route to pulling together some analysis and insights in the month of November. So it comes back to the city and the town.
Now, can you give us a bit more idea of kind of the behind the scenes work that was done both leading up to the survey being launched?
Absolutely. So we did a combination of desktop research. So it's us looking at files that were sent over and our data requests that we look at, everything from E11 information through to telephony data through to service reviews. We also met with a number of stakeholders in the different divisions and departments across the town. And we even had the pleasure of being able to venture down, and I know the next segment is King Street. We did not go down that when we visited the town, but we saw the Rejuvenation, and we were able to connect with some of the townsfolk inside. Obviously, COVID appropriate reviews and visits, and so that was really great to sort of really get that pulse of the town even amidst the pandemic.
Right. Now, in talking with staff ahead of time, David Singh, we'll start with you on this. What are some of the key customer service issues that have been identified so far, at least from an internal standpoint? Like anything that that really comes to mind that you can share?
So the two things that really stuck out when we met was, I think, picking up on David's categorization of a can-do attitude. Everyone we spoke to wanted to do a better job. And it wasn't because they were doing a bad job. It's that they wanted to continue. They understood that citizens are their priority, and that's not always the case, especially in municipal governments sometimes that we work with. So there was a theme in everyone saying, this is what I want to do. This is what we should be doing. And this is how we're doing it. The second was their willingness to change. And I think that was the other thing too that we heard coming through. So everyone was seeing there's a lot of new faces around the town, and I think that energy was something that we felt as outsiders. Sometimes that's not always the case. Those were the two big things from a thematic out of the conversations. In each of the divisions and departments, there's all sorts of ideas and suggestions that we've taken lots of notes on and trying to categorize into some actionable takeaways for the town and the leadership.
Right. So, Mike, I want to get you involved here on this. You're not on here just to look pretty. From a long-serving member of council and a resident, are there things that you've noticed over the years yourself, be it something that you've noticed trying to get information from staff, or things you've heard from other residents?
Well, we hear at times that it's struggle even to call the town hall and, to get a recording. We'd like to talk to somebody live. We do have quite a few seniors who aren't 100% sure how to navigate the phone system, let alone how to get on a computer or even get the information they're requiring. I'm a strong believer. Anytime we can communicate, it's always a benefit for everybody. I've said it in the past, I'll say it again. Any relationship that you have, if you're not communicating properly, it breaks down. So this is an opportunity I see for our community and members of our community to be engaged and also communicate. So if we can make communication easier in any aspect, I think we're doing the right thing. And I appreciate both answers, and they're exactly right. We need more we can communicate, the better.
Right, and I'll stick with you on this next question. So. Sure. Customer service covers a lot of areas. I mean, it's not simply just having somebody sitting at a window serving people that are lined up. There's a lot more aspects to what the town offers as far as customer service. Can you think of some other things or mention some other things that you know of and what we offer to residents?
Well, I think it's important to listen to a resident, and I think this is part of it. And we're council and is the final decision on all the budgets. So I need to know whether the services that we're providing, parks, harbor, et cetera, are these things that the community really want, or are there some things we can put aside and spend money on other projects? So with that said, to pinpoint one, I could give you a list of lots I hear from all kinds of residents, but the idea of having this survey and listening and hearing and doing our job much better. Without the communication and the input from our community, we don't know. We're guessing. So to me, this is a great engagement, and to hear what we're doing right, but more importantly, what we're doing wrong.
Right. So sticking on that theme, I'm going to play devil's advocate here because I'm sure a lot of people may be wondering this. In 2017, the town undertook a service delivery review, and maybe David Deneau, you can comment first on this. Did that review itself not identify ways we can improve our customer service?
But it absolutely did. Yeah, I mean, there were, I think, almost 68 different recommendations coming out of that report. Again, good recommendations and ones that are being considered, certainly, with David Singh and his team and with the town team. Those are things that we're going to continue to take a look at. But to be honest, our world has changed, as we all know. I mean, it changed dramatically and continues to change. Are those still the priorities that we need to address as we look at how we can serve our customers? I think we need to have a fresh look at it because we're dealing with our customers in a whole different manner. I think our expectations of our customers are changing because of the circumstance that we're coming in. What will our new world look like on the other side of this pandemic? Those are things that we're anticipating as part of this. So it was great feedback at that time. I think a lot of those initiatives will be ones we'll still look at, but I think we need to put a new lens on it with what we're seeing with the help of, David and his team and, the input of council, our staff, and the public. I think that's, again, the importance of doing this on a continually loop.
Great. Well, and so we're starting to get tight for time here for this segment. I just wanted to ask, through your Mike and David as town employees, and David Singh as the consultant, have you heard different complaints in your, from people about specific things? Like, anything you've heard from residents in passing, or even through all the discussions, anything specific that you could, could share with folks today?
I'd be happy to.
Deputy Mayor.
Well, we hear, at times, simply to be able to pay your taxes online, that type of thing. The technology is there. The world has changed, as David said. I believe this is, sort of the service delivery is always changing and moving. But the fact is, the world has changed, and you're not walking into town hall to pay a bill. You want the opportunity with the way the COVID and the way our online life has changed. We really need, and there's a perfect example, go online and pay anything, parking ticket, get a fire permit, any type of, I think we need to engage more of the online services that people really are looking for.
Yeah, I would agree. In what I read online, monitor our social media, that's probably the top issue people have, is not having that convenience. Unfortunately, I mean, I know we can talk about customer service for
We
quite
definitely
a while,
could.
but unfortunately, we need to take a break. David Singh, I really appreciate you for joining us today and sharing the information you did. Look forward to seeing you again at some point in the future.
Thank you, David.
Thanks a lot, Randy. Thanks, everyone. Appreciate it.
Great, thanks. And we'll be right back after this.
You know what I like to have on my pizza?
No, what do you like?
Pineapple.
Pineapple?
Yeah.
You're one of those guys?
Yeah.
Not me, man. I'm all about the hot sauce. The hotter, the better.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I love hot sauce and pizza.
Wouldn't it be fun if we could play a game like this and then at the end we had to eat something like really hot?
Well, like play this board game and then someone eats something really hot at the end?
Yeah.
Yeah, but what would we call the show?
What kind of show do you want to see on Rogers TV? What interests you? Log on to rogerstv.com, fill out a show proposal, and tell us about your segment idea. We want to know what you want to see. Rogers TV, only on Rogers.
Welcome back to Engaging Midland. Shifting gears now, we're going to talk about the King Street Rejuvenation Project. The phase 2 is nearly complete. It's hard to believe, but it's almost here. We'll find out how close in a minute. But first, I want to introduce the two new guests that are joining us. First, we have Sarah Shaw, Public Relations Officer for Arnott Construction Limited. Thanks for joining us today, Sarah.
Thanks for having me, Randy.
Briefly, in your role with Arnott Construction, what would you say you enjoy the most about it?
This position is a new kind of position for the industry as a whole in smaller town projects. But I would have to say interacting with the businesses, which is the main role, is probably my favorite. There's a lot of wonderful shop owners downtown that have all been really positive and excited about the new town, new downtown. So it's been a fun summer dealing with everybody and kind of going with the flow of the construction.
Great. And we also have Mitch Sobel, Acting Manager of Engineering for the town of Midland. Nice to see you again, Mitch.
Thanks for having me, Randy.
So you've been with the town for a little over 2 years now, I think. Can you kind of give us an idea what led you to join our team?
Yeah, a couple years ago, I was in the market to expand my career in the engineering field. Good opportunity came at the Midland. I now have lived in Midland for 4 years. Grew up in a small community, so understand the importance of the small community life and what's important to them. And being a resident here, it's nice to know that your hard work is actually going to good use. So it's a great place to raise a family. I've got a young family, and overall, it fits well with us.
Great. Well, let's jump right in. The next segment is, like I mentioned, the King Street Rejuvenation Project. Mitch, I'll start with you. For those who may still not be familiar with it, what exactly is the purpose of the King Street Rejuvenation Project?
So the King Street project is it's a complete reconstruction of downtown King Street from Bayshore Drive to Yonge Street. The driving factor is we have an aging and failing underground infrastructure, water mains and sewers approaching 90 to 100 years old. Starting to fail, and we're having some issues. As climate changes, one of the biggest issues we're starting to see is a lot of I&I, which is inflow and infiltration. These large storm events that leads to water infiltrating into the sewer systems and causes issues, and one of them being bypasses. So this is kind of the first step to tackling getting rid of this I&I in our system and overall getting our system up to today's standards.
Right. Now, this project's been around, it's been in the works for quite a while. I mean, there was a lot of planning done before the shovels hit the ground, correct?
Absolutely. This project predates me by a long shot at the town. I think probably going back 2 to 3 council terms. I think, there was a downtown master plan done in 2013, 2014 timeframe. And it recognized that the downtown needed some work. Aside from the underground infrastructure, then our water, wastewater master plans also emphasize on the importance of it. So it's been in the works for a long time. Consultants went to work 2015, 2016, and now we're here.
Right. Now, Mike, being involved with council, how nice is it to see this long-term project nearing the light at the end of the tunnel, so to speak?
Oh, fantastic. It's so exciting. Every time I walk down there, I'm so amazed at how great it looks. The project is amazing. I talked to the shop owners. They're so happy. And I'm ecstatic. I can't wait I wish we could have a huge celebration to celebrate our new town, but hopefully in the springtime when this COVID's gone, we can. Yeah. But it looks amazing, and thank you to all involved. It really is. It's fantastic.
Now, with that said, and as great as it looks, it has to be paid for. So, David, I'm going to throw this one to you. How exactly is this project being funded? Can you kind of shed some light on that?
Yeah, absolutely, Rand. I do want to pick up on the point, though, and add certainly my thanks along with the deputy mayor to, just an outstanding piece of work that's being done. And Mitch and Sarah are representative of the kind of can-do energy that's just associated with this project. They're both very modest, but I'm telling you, we're really lucky to have, the caliber of people like this. And when I was fortunate to arrive here, to witness a project like this, not missing a beat through COVID, just phenomenal. And to allow us to come out of this ready to roll is absolutely fantastic for the businesses. How you pay for it, though, is obviously a reality. One of the other impacts of COVID, though, is, historically low interest rates. So we made a report to council early in September, made a recommendation that we float a debenture to help finance this project. So we'll be going back to council with a bylaw which will establish a 25-year debenture, which will actually finance this at historically low interest rates and allow us to do the financing that way.
Now, Mitch, what do you say? Are we on budget for this project? Under, over? What can you share about that, the status of that right now?
Well, I can say we got a great team that's put together on this project with our consultants and our contractor. We set ourselves up for success with the tender that we put out, and I can say with confidence that we're currently projecting to complete the project on budget.
That's great. So Sarah, can you give us an idea, what's the status of the project right now? How far have we progressed?
Well, we're currently all the way up at Yonge Street with the underground work. We're about 95% done the underground. We just completed the sanitary yesterday, so that was a big check mark for us. And then we'll have, we're about 60% of the way done the surface features. So the concrete and sidewalk and all of that stuff falls behind the underground. So we're just approaching Elizabeth with all of that. So we're progressing along well. Things have been going great. The crews have been working hard, and we definitely appreciate them doing that. But yeah, things are rolling.
Great. So Mitch, big question. When exactly is the work going to be done? I mean, am I going to get to drive down King Street Thanksgiving weekend?
Thanksgiving weekend, no, considering we're right there. But we're being on budget is a good thing. Being on schedule is even better. So right now we are projected to be on schedule. Fall of 2020 this year, we will be substantially complete, meaning that all the heavy lifting per se is done. All the major excavation, all the really disruptive work should be done this year. And then going into next year, we will have a little bit of work in the spring of 21, things like plantings and trees and just some final street furniture placement, things like that. But any work that progresses beyond the fall of this year will be much less disruptive.
Right. So Sarah, it's been a long time since King Street was last dug up for infrastructure work. So was there anything interesting that the crews found when they finally started digging it up?
We definitely found, I'm sure you may have seen, we found some timbers down at Bayshore End from the old railroads. The crews have found a couple old bottles. I think there was a couple coins. We were hoping to find a lot more historical treasures, but there are few and far between. But yeah, that was kind of the major ones for us. But the big machine doesn't do a great job of sifting through tiny little objects.
Great. No, I can imagine. So yeah, I've been down there and I've seen it firsthand myself, filming some videos with our mayor, Mike and David. I mean, you guys have to agree, it's looking great, right?
Fantastic. And I'm happy to hear that Santa's going to be able to drive down the main street come Christmas time.
Yeah, I think I'd absolutely agree. It's amazing to watch the transformation, as the deputy mayor pointed out. When you see those proud residents sweeping the streets already, trying to put a little bit of polish on it. That's so gratifying to see. Wait until the spring when this thing, really starts to shine with some of the greenery. And hopefully if we can put something together before then for the holidays to brighten it up, I think we'll all be extremely proud of what we've done here.
Yeah, oh, definitely. And the one thing to point out too, I know there's been talk out there, I've seen it on social media. A lot of people were concerned that with all of this work, we were taking away the parking. The one thing I'd like to add, and there's a great video on engagingmidland.ca with our mayor, where he really illustrates the whole flexible configuration. And that's a key point that we need to kind of promote, the fact that we get a lot of flexibility out of this new setup. So we still have the parking, but when certain events come up, we can remove the parking so that we have more space for people to walk. So that's key. And with that being said, I mean, I know I speak for everybody, including our downtown business owners, when I say that we're all looking forward to this project wrapping up and seeing how great it looks. And unfortunately, though, we are out of time for this episode. I do want to thank all of our guests for joining us. It's been great talking with everybody. And I would like to remind people to log on to engagingmidland.ca. You can find out a lot more information about the King Street Rejuvenation project and other projects, but you can also take our customer experience survey from our first segment. It's really important that people get involved with this so that we can learn how we can improve our customer service and everything that we offer residents. In addition to that, we now have another survey up and running. Our Budget 2021 survey is currently available on Engaging Midland. This is your chance to provide feedback to help council and staff identify areas of focus for the town's 2021 budget exercise that begins later this fall. So basically log on, it's free, registration is free, take advantage of it. It's there for you folks to use. That's our show for today. Thanks for joining us. Stay safe and we'll see you next time on Engaging Midland.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you guys.
Call the Rogers TV viewer response line, email us, or connect with us on social media.
Mark your calendar for June 23rd at 7:30 p.m. for a live Our Health North Simcoe virtual episode right here on Rogers TV. Panelists will provide insight into the support that is available surrounding the topic of community mental health and addiction support now and into the future. That's Our Health North Simcoe live June 23rd at 7:30.
September 20th, 2007.
January the 9th, 2003.
December 14th, 2013.
On August the 13th, 2009, Dr. Ian McGilvray and his team saved my life.
Too many people die every year waiting for an organ donation. Please, let's eliminate the wait list.
As an organ donor, you can save up to 8 lives and enhance the lives of 75 others. Pledge a gift to life. You'll be glad you did.
This is Rogers TV, Midland.
Welcome to the world of my baby. This is the 27th Our Health event and our second live online and virtual event. We're so glad you joined us. Whether you're on TV, Rogers Channel 53, or whether you're on the online channel at Rogers, or whether you're on Facebook Live, you're all welcome to listen in. My name is Keith Rose, and I'm your moderator for this evening. Tonight, we'll be focusing on happy and healthy babies. And we're also going to have some suggestions on parental supports. So make sure that we include those supports as we go along with our talks.